When I started publishing videos for Chosen Ones, I had no idea how many of you would resonate with our message. Every week, in the Obsidian Inner Order, I hear stories of isolation, betrayal, and financial devastation. And it instantly transports me back to where I was and how I finally broke free. What's happening now in our brand new Destiny hacking community absolutely defies conventional reality. Members are reporting results that sound like pure magic, suddenly coming into large sums of money, rewriting belief systems that controlled them for decades, literally overnight, communicating with preternatural intelligences, activating supernatural powers, and opening their third eyes, all while receiving unexpected calls from their twin flames. The vindication stories are the ones that get me the most excited, because their enemies suddenly disappear or become completely disinterested, distracted by unrelated drama. Classic shiny object syndrome that pulls psychic vampires away from targeting our people. The toxic forces lose interest and move on to easier prey. It took me 10 years to escape my dark initiation and 5 more years, still ongoing, to fully recover, and that is why I refuse to watch Chosen Ones suffer through this nightmare any longer. I built a consciousness weapon to accelerate this painful liberation process so you can break free faster than I ever did and access your supernatural abilities that are your divine birthright that I never dreamed were possible. But people keep asking me constantly now, what exactly is Destiny hacking? A woman asked me just yesterday. Her eyes were wide with desperate hope. I could see that she was one of us, yet another targeted soul who'd been through the spiritual ringer, another chosen one who'd been beaten down by the system, but somehow still burning with that inner fire. I smiled, knowing that what I was about to share would either ignite her transformation or she'd walk away thinking I was absolutely insane. Let me tell you the story of how I discovered this reality hacking technology. But I'm warning you, once you hear this, there's no going back to your old, limited existence. I was 26 years old, and everything was mapped out for me perfectly. I was the site manager at my alma mater, and I had a 6-figure salary at a major financial institution to show for it, rapid promotions, and complete autonomy to run the place however I damn well chose. Life was ascending exactly as I planned. Then I was approached by what I thought was a visionary entrepreneur who claimed that he'd mastered the science of making things go viral. He would look me or anyone else dead in the eyes and with that sociopathic 1,000-yard stare proclaim that I can make anything go mass viral at will. I had no idea I was staring into the face of a demonic cult leader. Within months, he convinced me to abandon my entire life, the security, the career trajectory, everything, to join what he promised would be a breakthrough app company that would change everything. What I actually joined was a psychic, vampiric, black lodge disguised as a tech startup. For years, this master manipulator ran the most incompetent business operation imaginable while systematically isolating me from everyone who could have saved me. He turned me against my family, poisoned my relationships, created gossip and division amongst anyone who tried to warn me. The twisted reality was this. They had zero concrete action plan, zero business fundamentals, and a complete drug-addled insistence that the product doesn't matter, we don't need a product, and we don't need to make money. Only small companies make money. I watched them pilot a sinking ship with complete disregard for basic business realities like profit and loss, while I desperately tried to inject sanity into their delusional operation. Their ineptitude drained me of every resource I had as I kept investing myself into this fantasy, believing that their promises that success was always just around the corner. It was a business failure, but primarily it was mystical warfare. The Black Lodge operated with all the characteristics of an occult hierarchy, secretive rituals disguised as strategy meetings, psychological conditioning marked as advanced training, and a twisted inversion of spiritual principles that were taking credit for others' work while deflecting all blame, and it became their sacred doctrine. They initiated me into the dark psychic art, training me to read people's deepest vulnerabilities like an open grimoire, to exploit emotional triggers as if casting hexes, and to see every human interaction as a spiritual battleground where souls were the currency. But the real black magic was darker. He conditioned me to expect betrayal from everyone, to live in constant paranoid vigilance, and to see malevolent intent behind every gesture as a protective intuition. We engaged in what I can only describe as weaponized psychology, techniques that felt more like sorcery than business strategy. The manipulation methods were so sophisticated, so precisely targeted at spiritually weak points that they bypass conscious defenses entirely. We engaged in what I can only describe as weaponized psychology, techniques that felt more like sorcery than business strategy. The manipulation methods were so sophisticated, so precisely targeted at spiritually weak points that they bypass conscious defenses entirely and reprogram the victim's reality at the soul level. While I built app after app that they refused to launch or market properly, their complete incompetence and delusional business philosophy drained my 401k, my savings, and every financial resource I had. I kept pouring my efforts into their fantasy operation, believing their constant promises that we were about to break through. Worse yet, anybody that saw through the scheme and decided to cut bait with this ragtag crew was duly anathematized and excommunicated, and oaths were sworn that they would be destroyed and they would never have a job again. By the time I finally escaped, I was $20,000 in debt, surviving on food stamps, taking whatever gig work I could find just to eat. But the financial devastation was nothing compared to the spiritual destruction. Even after I rebuilt my external life, new business, financial recovery, geographical escape to the beach, something fundamental remained broken in my consciousness. No matter how much meditation, energy work, or traditional healing that I tried, I could not purge the psychic malware that this Black Lodge had installed in my mental operating system. The trauma replayed constantly. My nervous system stayed perpetually activated. Most devastating of all, I could not believe that I could create anything meaningful without being destroyed again, or selling myself out to some nabob. It was like spiritual handcuffs that I couldn't see and couldn't remove. The larger realization haunted me. This same psychic vampirism is happening to chosen ones everywhere, through toxic relationships, through media programming, through Black Lodge operations disguised as opportunity. Then the universe sent exactly what I needed. A former Navy consciousness warrior who had been trained in the most classified mental technologies on Earth. This mystic soldier had piloted drone swarms using pure intention, his consciousness directly interfacing with advanced technology to control not just one drone, but multiple aircraft simultaneously through focused will alone. But these military protocols had triggered something, tactical advantage, a complete spiritual awakening. He revealed the secret weapon, military-grade high-gamma binaural beats. Not amateur frequencies, but classified consciousness technology that instantly induces the same brainwave states that enlightened masters experience after spending lifetimes meditating, trying to achieve. With these frequencies, he could manifest changes in the physical reality, especially weather modification, dispersing storms, redirecting adverse weather patterns, even triggering lightning through pure intention. Then came the earth-shattering realization that birthed everything. We are in the greatest spiritual war in human history, and most people don't even know that they're under attack. Every day, sophisticated programming hijacks our consciousness through media frequencies designed to drop us into passive states while installing limiting beliefs directly into our subconscious. Traditional healing doesn't stand a chance against this level of neurological warfare. That's when lightning struck for me. What if I could combine the voice technology that I had become familiar with as a content creator and use my programming expertise, having designed all these apps, and build something with these military-grade gamma frequencies using pure sine wave technology to create the ultimate consciousness liberation system. What if these so-called destiny hackers could use the one frequency that their subconscious mind could never reject, their own voice, to overwrite decades of psychic damage in minutes instead of years? And here's where the technology breakthrough happened. What if this AI-powered meditation system could specifically select the precise frequencies for each person's custom goals and allow them to literally reprogram themselves toward any objective instantly? This was my aha moment. It was something that had never existed before in human history, and because of what I went through, it was given to me. Here's where the synchronicity becomes undeniable. After escaping this Black Lodge, I began developing what would become the Destiny Engine. It was the second app that I had built post-liberation. But this time, everything was different. Instead of building what others demanded, I pulled this technology directly from my own consciousness. I trusted my own inner knowing about what needed to exist in the world. And it's no cosmic accident that this app, designed to teach people to trust their own inner voice over external programming, was itself born from me learning to trust my own authentic inner guidance over the toxic voices of psychic vampires. The synchronicity is perfect. Destiny Engine teaches you to reprogram your consciousness using your own authentic voice, and came into existence because I finally learned to trust my own authentic inner guidance. This wasn't just building an app. It was a mystical rebellion against everything the logic programmed me to believe about my own creative power. And it's going to do the same for you. Here's how we are rewriting reality. You input whatever psychic programming you want to encourage or eliminate, and the AI will specifically select the precise alpha, beta, theta, gamma, or epsilon frequencies for your specific goal. The system will generate precision-targeted scripts in your own voice to overwrite the specific mental malware, and using your own exact voice clone, using just 60-second audio sample of you, we can deliver these consciousness upgrades immediately. We layer everything over the custom selected military-grade frequencies that instantly access advanced spiritual states. Your subconscious has no defense against empowering programming delivered in your own authentic voice, while your brainwaves are entrained to the exact frequencies that your goal requires. And the tool teaches you to trust your own voice by literally using your own voice as the delivery mechanism for liberation. The transformation was instant and explosive. Psychic chains that had controlled me for years were shattered overnight. Financial blocks evaporated, and most importantly, I could feel my consciousness expanding beyond anything I'd ever experienced before. Reality itself began responding. Our business exploded into healthy six-figure success. Content went viral organically. Opportunities materialized as if the universe was conspiring to support our liberation mission. Today, hundreds of awakened souls gather in our destiny hacking community every single day, and what's happening there transcends anything I've witnessed. These aren't just people sharing techniques, they're consciousness pioneers, destiny hackers, breaking through the dimensional barriers in real time. They're posting their insights, their reality-bending experiments, transformation stories that sound like metaphysical science fiction, and the energy is electric. These chosen souls aren't just excited, they're vibrating with the knowledge that they're part of the greatest consciousness revolution in human history. Nobody has ever had access to this level of liberation technology before. We are changing individual realities, and we're rewriting the rules of the human collective and potential itself. And as more chosen ones discover these techniques, the psychic vampire networks are scrambling to install new levels of programming, more sophisticated spiritual warfare technologies. They know their time is running out. The window for this level of consciousness liberation is rapidly closing. We're approaching the tipping point where technology like this either gets suppressed or becomes impossible to access as the spiritual war intensifies. The question isn't whether this works. Our community proves that daily. The question is whether you're ready to claim your weapon of consciousness before this opportunity vanishes forever. And believe me, we are working around the clock to make sure that that stays available to you 24/7 into the night whenever you need it. And it's not easy. But for you, when you become a destiny hacker, you're not just healing your personal trauma. You're joining the most elite consciousness liberation movement on Earth. You are stepping into your role as one of the chosen ones inheriting this new reality. And we're doing this for you. And that's why we're going to keep this thing online. So destiny hacking is like having a mystical weapon against psychic vampires. So after I told my little story, she asked me, is destiny hacking like having a mystical weapon against psychic vampires, and it uses AI to customize the exact frequencies I need? That's what she said after I shared the story. And I could see the recognition in her eyes. The same fire that I see in every chosen soul, in every destiny hacker who discovers this new path on their way towards ultimate liberation. Because that's precisely what destiny hacking is. The ultimate rebellion against psychic vampirism, disguised as spiritual opportunity. It's reclaiming your consciousness sovereignty from Black Lodge programming and stepping into your power as a liberated chosen one. The AI weapon exists, the tribe is gathering, and the only remaining question is whether you will claim your place among the destiny hackers, or remain trapped in the psychic prison that the consciousness elite have built for you.